Hi, Callie. All right, so here we go. Are you ready? Been having fun with these today. All right, so first off, your website is like super plain. There's no real branding going on, which is totally fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with not having a brand. Um, you're in your first year. That's what you said. Okay, so totally cool that you haven't gone nuts and branded it and come up with some like silly floral logo or any. I'd much rather see plain and simple than overdone and not matching. Okay, so like this is bones and this you can work from. All right, that's a good thing. You right now, it looks like you have a really simple website. You have portfolio, about, investment, and contact. Okay. And your homepage is lots of photos. This looks just like a portfolio, and you have a let's chat. Drop me a line. Is this supposed to be a contact form or is it just a let's chat? Okay. Am I on the page? I'm gonna refresh it real quick. Okay, so no, you. Okay, so the first thing you're asking me to do is contact you, which we're not ready for that yet. You also don't need this like mini portfolio up here. It looks like you are sort of like motherhood, newborns, milestones, family. Okay. I like it. I'm going to say this photo and this photo are not your best photos. And I'm telling you that just in the like 20 that I've just seen right now. This face, she looks like she's making a weird face. And maybe that's the face she makes, and that's fine. But it's not aesthetically appealing as one of the main images on your website. Portfolio, fine, later on. He's adorable. These eyes are so cute, but he's not like fully smiling. And I want like a full smile. I apologize if these are your children. They are super cute, but these aren't like really strong emotions that like pull people in. They're cute photos. Your technical aspect on these is really beautiful. It's got that gorgeous blur. I mean, technically these are there, but it's the expressions that kind of lose me. And that, as a photographer, you just sort of have to pick like the best images for your website on at this moment. So like this is your calling card right here. This space right here, okay? You have your menu and what will eventually be a logo, but then this right here. This is like handing someone your business card, okay? Think about that. If you were to make a business card right now, would these be the 3 images that you put on it? If the answer is no, then you need to change them, okay? This is your calling card. The very first images that people are going to see when they come on your website, and they need to say something about what you do. I love this moment. This is funny and adorable. This is a smile. Look at this face and that expression compared to this. There's a huge difference. This is engaging. Look how happy and cute this is just so engaging. Okay? Look at how happy she is looking at her baby. And look at how enthralled they are with each other. You have the moments here. You've got the eye. These are beautiful photos. I would much rather see this grid right here, these last 2 lines, than these 2 lines. Okay, you see the emotional difference in the 2? There's so much emotion and movement and life in these photos. These are more poised and posed and technically good, but The emotion just isn't there with this grid. So if anything, just take this grid right here and have it be this. Just get rid of these 6 images and have this be the top, okay? Right when people first enter your website, this, excuse me, is what they'll see. And I think this is a much better calling card than these, okay? So we're gonna move these up and we're gonna get rid of the top 6. So then we're gonna come down and instead of saying let's chat, because we're not ready for that, I'm assuming this is you, but we're gonna get rid of this giant photo because it leaves all of this blank space, which is kind of odd. And we don't want to leave that much blank space right on your main page. So I would drop this and I would have this word blurb go all the way across. Okay. And we're not going to say let's chat. You need to tell me where you're located. Because right now I have no idea where you're located at all. It looks like from my notes, you're from South Carolina. Beautiful, but you need to tell me that. Family photographer serving blank area, South Carolina, right? Looks like you live in Greenville. If your Facebook's correct, you live in Greenville. So serving Greenville, South Carolina, okay? And surrounding areas, or however you want to word that. But you need to tell me where you are and what you do. Family photographer. Or Greenville, South Carolina photographer, or Greenville, South Carolina newborn family and children's photographer. Right? So you can do it both ways. You can say what you are first and where you're located, or you can say where you're located and then what you do. And then you need an emotional connection. Okay? You need like 2 to 5 sentences basically telling clients why they should hire you. This is like your mission statement. Okay? And it's not an I take photos because statement. That's your about page. I do this, I do that is an about page. This needs to hit a pain point. You've been dreaming of the moment you hold your newborn for the first time. You've been thinking about all of those moments. Your kids grow up so quickly, right? Speak to your clients like you're having a conversation with them. You are feeling this way. You feel like you might have all the time in the world, but those days go by so fast, right? Talk to them like they're people. Not like you're selling something, not that you want them to book. Just talk about those reasons that would make them want photos and do it right here. Okay? That's what you need right here, is an emotional connection in this space. And from here, you are going to guide them over to a page that has some information. Now, I am going to tap your portfolio. And it is broken down like a blog. Okay, I wouldn't do this. Okay? You are new. So all of this can go into one portfolio page, okay? Just like your home page, you have this nice grid of things. That can be your portfolio page, okay? You don't need to break it down like this. This is sort of like a blog, what you have right now. You have individual sessions. So what's happening is if someone wants to see it, all of your work, they're not going to be able to. Your portfolio needs to show like the best of what you do. So like don't put all 20 photos from a newborn session in your portfolio because you have such, you have so many few sessions right now. I would pick like 5 top images from each of these sessions, okay? No repetition. So don't pick this one and these look exactly the same. They're not. But these are so close. I mean, you don't need both of these in the blog, especially not this close. It's one thing to have like one at the top and one at the bottom, but you don't need them this close. But I would pick like your top 5 photos from each of these sessions and put them into an actual portfolio page. Rename this your blog or something and stick it on the end and create a new portfolio page that shows the best of what you do in a grid form. Okay? And it can be a grid form like this. Totally fine if this is what you want, how you want your portfolio to look. But it can also be a grid form like this where they can click and the photo will get bigger. Okay? Either way, your portfolio, don't have them click out of it into something else. That's just like an extra click that they're just going to get lost into your website, and you don't want that. You're also dead ending in these gallery pages, which I'll go into in just a minute. But this page, you need to switch it up. Make this your blog. Okay, just rename the page blog, stick it on, move it down the menu to the end, create a new portfolio page, and seriously, 5 of the best images from each of these sessions and put them in a beautiful grid. But at the top of that portfolio page, before we really get into the photos, I want you to continue that emotional connection and then talk about what it is to work with you and sort of how things work. So make more of an emotional connection about, you know, photos being important and all of whatever, however you want to word it and what you want to do. Okay. More of that emotional connection following from the homepage. And then talk about working with you. I'm going to assume that's sort of what this is. Oh, this is not even a real page right now. Okay, so you haven't fleshed this out at all. Okay, get rid of this completely. You don't need it. Honestly, you don't even need an investment page. And if you do, don't call it an investment. Investment is a funny word that doesn't really translate well. I know we use it for some reason. It got really big like 4 or 5 years ago using investment. And I think it really came from the IPS world, in like investing in your memories and investing in the art. And that's cool. And we can use the word investment when we talk about it, but it's just it doesn't translate into pricing very well. But I don't think you need a pricing page, honestly. You don't. You can just drop this completely off your website. You don't even need it. Because one, you're still new, so your prices are going to change and they're going to go up, I hope. There's no reason they shouldn't go up as you get better. And I think on your portfolio page, you can totally make that emotional connection. And then you can talk about, first contact me and we'll discuss your session. Sessions start at. Just throw it into the conversation. It does not have to be a whole page of things. Or you can say average sessions cost. Clients can expect to spend. There's many ways to word it where you put a starting point and they can reach out. Let them reach out. Like, that's the whole point of your website, right? Is getting people to reach out to you. And if you give them all the information, which I'm sure that's what this page was going to be, if you give them all that information just right there, lay it all out, they're not going to have any reason to reach out to you. But if you give them an emotional connection, and then how it works, and then contact me. Let's do this thing, right? Then they're going to want to reach out. So the biggest thing you're missing on your website is words. Okay? So honestly, I like simple websites. I think the less clicks that clients have to make to get through your website, the better. And really, your goal should be getting them from your homepage to your contact page in 2 to 3 clicks. That's it. You don't need a ton of stuff to be successful and have a website that really works to your benefit. It comes down to the quality of content. And Google really likes words. Okay? So you need to use the words that you have. Think about, turn your phone on, record yourself talking. And I know this sounds so silly, but record yourself talking and pretend you're having a discussion with someone. Be like, oh yeah, so I totally, oh, you want to know what kind of photography I do? Okay, well, I specialize in newborns and families and those beautiful moments where people come together and, you're looking at your husband, he's looking at you, and you're totally wrapped up in that moment, and your kids are running around, but, you don't even hear them because you're so into each other. Just talk about it, okay? To yourself. Record it. Then go back and listen to it. And pull out those emotional moments. Use those things that you said to flesh out your website. And when you speak it, when you talk it out, it is much more natural than trying to type it out, because your mouth moves faster than your fingers. So by the time you type out something, your thought is already like escaping you, and it becomes more like robotic and formal versus that casual, emotional way you would actually talk to someone. Okay? So that's why I do these as videos and not as like PDF files. Because you hear my expression, you see what I'm doing, you can see your website while I'm doing it, and we make that connection. And you can really, and I can tell you like, hey, this is the kind of thing you need to say, right? Like we just did. Talk about it to yourself, and then take those words and pull that into your website as your content. It's really that simple. And don't try to be too professional. You can be yourself. People want you to be yourself. The more of you that comes out, the better. Also, are you stuck with Calico? Because, I love Calico. It sounds like calico. But I really, is Corn your real last name? I think it is, because that's what you paid for your thing. But yeah, Kallie Corn. I love that your last name is Corn. That is quirky and wonderful. And I don't know, I really feel like Kallie Corn has like such a funky, fun ring to it. I feel like if my last name were Corn, I would totally have to jump on that. I love it. I really love that your name is Kallie Corn. It's got this great like alliteration to it with like the k sound. I don't know. You might want to think about it. I am going to go read about you. Kallie Corn. See? Kallie Corn. I love it. I'm going to say your name forever. I'm never going to forget you because I love your name. And I feel like that is how people might feel coming onto your website. You can leave calicophotography.com, but I might change it to Kallie Corn. It's just so good. We had our 2 sons. I love photography, but finding my own style. Beautiful. Throw in some fun facts if you want. And okay, so here we're going to talk about dead ends. Okay? And I don't mean hair dead ends. I mean website dead ends and path dead ends. Your hair is beautiful. Your family is beautiful. Just you guys are fabulous. Okay, so dead end, what I'm talking about right here. You tell me about you, but then you don't tell me where I should go from here. Where am I going? You have not told me. And that is a problem. So if I click on about, it's the second link here. So I might think that this is about your photography. And honestly, that's probably what a lot of people think when they see about. They think, because think about, it's funny. When you go on like a normal website and you click about, it can go one of 2 ways. It's either about the company or about the services. But you have to be kind of clear on what the about is about. And when it's this far up in your menu, I right off the bat would have assumed that it's about the photography because you have portfolio, about, investment, and contact. So I would assume that this is about the business, not specifically about you. Now, because I have looked through so many of these websites, I already knew that it was going to be about you because that's very standard on a photography website, that when we say about, it's about the photographer, not about the photography, which is totally fine. But maybe switch it to say about me or about Kallie. Okay, that way it's really super clear that it's about you. Okay. Oh, I would also switch the portfolio page. If we're going to do what I said earlier about adding that session information above the portfolio, I would call it session info or the experience or something along those lines, so that they know that there's more information than just photos on that page and how it's going to be. Okay. And then this can be about Kallie. So you'll have session info, about Kallie, and contact. See how simple your website is going to be? It's going to be magically simple. I am going to look at your contact page. Feel free to. Okay, you need a contact form. And I know Squarespace has them. Nobody is going to copy and paste this email and take it over to a different app or take it into another window and do something with it. Nobody is going to do that. I'm telling you that right now. No one. Zero people are going to inquire this way. You absolutely have to have a contact form embedded on this website. And it can literally be as simple as name, email, tell me what kind of session you're interested in, submit. That's it. That is all it needs to be. Okay? So, but you do have to have an actual form on this page. And then you can have, I don't think you even need these little social buttons because they're up here permanently. This is what's going to happen here right now. People are not going to email you. They're going to click on one of these and then they're going to get lost in social media land. They're not going to reach out. And that's a problem because you want people to reach out. So I would get these off of this contact page and get an actual contact form on here. Also, this page is missing something. What do? You're a photographer, right? Aha, I think it just clicked. You are missing a photo. This is the last point of contact on your website. This is the last place that you want people to go. That's the goal, okay? Is your contact page. However, you still need photos on here, or at least a photo. This is the very last chance you have to make an impression. And it needs to be a good one. Just like your home page is your calling card. This is your first impression. Your contact is your last impression. And it has to be just as good as the beginning. My husband is a teacher and he actually went to he has to do like in-service time. And I promise this is relevant. He has to do in-service and they talked about, it was all about teaching a class in 45 minutes or less. But the goal was 45 minutes because our high schools are dropping their times down from like hour 15 classes block schedule to 45-minute classes and having like a traditional 7 classes a day schedule. So how to teach a class in 45 minutes. The main takeaway was that students will remember what you say in the first 10 to 15, and they'll remember what you say in the last 10 to 15. But the middle, they don't remember. So think about that and how it applies to your website. People remember the first 10 minutes and they remember the last 10 minutes. They might not remember what they see in the middle. So take that to heart because that's very true for websites as well. You've got your calling card and you've got your bow out. All right? So this needs to be just as attractive as your homepage. I've noticed you have this little quote down at the bottom of every page, it doesn't really go with your website. It's kind of random, and down here at the bottom, it feels, I mean, I like it. I don't know what it's from. It sounds really familiar, but I feel like this is more like a footer thing. Like it could be centered down here in your footer, which also your footer should have more information. I know this is made with Squarespace, but it should absolutely have Kallie Co. All content copyright Kallie Co. Photography, family, children, and newborn photographer located in Greenville, South Carolina. Like all of that information should also be in your footer, along with links to these pages. Like this menu should be mirrored down in the footer somehow. I'll just show you my website real quick so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But basically your header, okay, up here at the top, but then your footer, my footer's huge, right? I've got my Facebook, I've got my navigation, I've got my copyright image, I've got a little blip about what I do and where I'm located. I do have my email just in case, and my social links, and a privacy policy. So like my footer is basically like a map of my website. It's like my website pared down into a single block. And that's exactly what a footer needs to be. So you do need some information in your footer. So look, calling card, right? I have where I'm located. I have my calling card, my like top 3 images I feel like at the moment, or the ones that I feel like show what I do the best. So life is an adventure. That's my sort of tagline thing I use. And then I talk about those pain points. I talk about, don't, you worry about what foods you should be eating and what crib to buy, but let me take away a little worry for your photos. Okay, so like we talk about that. And then I pop over to a learn more page, an informational page. Okay, so you can kind of see how your website's not doing that right now. You're not telling them where to go on your homepage. You just say, let's chat, but you don't even give them a contact me. You say, drop me a line and let's chat, but there's no email, no contact button, no phone number, no nothing. So you would make me scroll all the way back up to hit contact. Okay, so you need a path running through your website. Home, session info, contact. That's your goal. Just get rid of the investment. And I would make this current page a blog. I know I said that earlier. I'm just kind of running through the cliff notes here. But home, info, contact. That's your goal. And make sure that there are no dead ends. There can be no dead ends. You need a button here that says learn more about working with me. Learn more. Learn more about working with me. And have it link right over to that session info page. See, you've pushed them right back onto the path. They got lost. They went and found out about you, but you can push them back onto the path. Okay? Every single page on your website, and you don't have many right now, you're just going to have 4. They should all lead back to that main path, home, info, contact. So this menu should also reflect the order that you want them to go in, and it pretty much does. You should have your info, your about, contact, and blog, or it can be blog, contact. It's totally up to you which way you want to go about that. Either way is fine. I tend to like contact towards the end, but blog also can just totally be at the end. It's really up to you and how you want it to look, but otherwise the about needs to come after the info, but before the contact. So you're pretty much in the right order, honestly. It's just I'm being thrown off because the investment page is still there, which you can just get rid of that completely. So you got good bones here, and the work you're showing is lovely. You shoot dark and moody like me, and I really like that. So I do think eventually you need someone to do your branding, but right now I think you're good. Honestly, you might just want to look into like some pretty like handwritten script for Calico photography. Like honestly, look at mine. I paid a professional to do this, by the way, because she picked a script that fit my brand. So it's a script and just a simple sans serif font, right? Really, really simple, really straightforward. You could do something very similar and it would totally jazz this up. I don't even mind the black and the white, just a really simple vibe you've got going here, I think goes with your photos. The only thing I might change is instead of being black, maybe pick like a super dark brown or a really dark green tone, like almost black, and have that be your leading color here. And then have these words be white. I don't like the gray. It's odd, but I would do totally white with maybe a really dark toned color here instead of black, but keep it simple. Seriously, I like the simpleness of this. Let your work shine. And I feel like once you start getting more work, then you can pay someone to like really do your brand. Once you've been shooting for like a year or two and you really find your niche or your style or whatever, once you really get into it and you're more confident in what you're offering, then work on your branding. But right now, I think just a simple script and picking a really dark neutral back here, like, because you're outside a lot, you've got a lot of brown tones in your skin, which I really love. You've got a lot of these like muted greens. I think a dark brown or a dark green would do really well here in the background, like really dark, like almost black, but not black. You'll know it's not black, just a really dark color. And then change these words to white. And I think you're on it. That's it. Like, it'll be beautiful. But yeah, so you've got good bones, you've got good work. Words are your biggest thing. You need to make emotional connections and you need to give information about what you do. And you need to talk about it in a way that is beneficial to your clients, not beneficial to you. So saying things like, I love shooting families because is not as good as your family will love this because. You see what I mean? There's a big difference. Lots of you statements, and it's hard, but do the recording thing. But honestly, you got the bones. I know I've said that, but you do. It's there. Your work is beautiful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And good luck. I mean, honestly, your work looks better than mine did at a year. So you've already got that going for you. But all right, good luck. And let me know if you have any questions.